Nobody's gonna watch it, but that's okay. We just beat the Eagles. Wow.
Oh, you're already here. Well, welcome back and welcome here. If it's your first time, it's that guy as blue as it gets. You know, for the Phantom, with the Phantom, all that good stuff. I say it how I want to say it because it's mine. Um, yeah, man, just got done watching this game here. New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles here on Thursday night at MetLife. First prime time game for the young upstart Jaxson Dart. Cam Skattebo as well. First, Thursday night football prime time game for these 200 short week and everything. And yeah, but it was just gonna be a tough matchup, like we talked about in a little bit in the weekly discussion. And tonight proved to be quite the thing that we needed that I discussed about in that a lot. Man, what a great performance from the team tonight. I just have to say so myself. Think anybody else would agree with that. And if you're here and watching this, maybe you do agree, and or maybe you don't. And I would just ask you to go ahead and explain that all down there, of course, as it's always open to do, of course. But tonight, let's go ahead and get into this game. All right. So let's start out just rough things about the stats and everything like that. Cam Skattebo, man. Almost 100 yards tonight. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Combined with Jaxson Dart's rushing. A little over 140 combined, maybe like 145 combined rushing from them. And then Tracy was out there tonight, man, for the first time back healthy. Had some good runs and everything like that. So them two are back as far as the primary running backs and everything like that. And with Jackson Dart being the running talent that he is, we should see some good rushing stuff going around here with the offense. Now we understand that they have that, you know what I'm saying? We've seen it be effective. We've seen it in action here on Thursday night against a pretty good opponent on the Philadelphia Eagles. But yeah. What else? The passing game today. Wandale Robinson, another big night for him as a leading receiver, I believe. Maybe a little close. No, yeah, it was probably him with the leading receivers. Theo Johnson had some good plays going on, and Jalen Hyatt showed up tonight for a few catches, and almost like he's gonna have himself a night, in general. But uh, that first half came to an end, and in the second half we came out, got the ball back, had to punt that first drive and everything, and maybe things took a little bit to get back in sync, but they did get back in sync, especially when the turnovers started coming in for the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts threw a nice, clean interception to who else but Cor'Dale Flott tonight. It might have been Andrew Phillips, but no, it's Cor'Dale Flott, of course. One of those guys who's kind of underappreciated to some. I've spoken about him myself. Maybe others have heard me speak about him, or I know other people of more stature in the NFL will say it like that. Um, I've spoken about him in ways too, and a lot of people probably weren't buying in on it because he doesn't really get as much of an action play like that with the interception, but he's usually covering pretty tough receivers, and he was out there tonight. Covering the interception. I believe he was covering Devontae Smith. Um, and yeah, picked it off. Nice interception too, man. All hands and took it back, almost took it back to the house for it, but not quite. And but we turned those into points, I believe. Of course, we were rolling pretty much the whole night. It was a great thing to see. Brian Daboll came and brought the proper type of alignment that we spoke about when it came to the offense. Shane Bowen on the defensive side did really well tonight. Burns had a good night. Probably didn't close out on as many sacks that he would wanted to, but still good play from him. Another good night from Kavion. The quietest night will probably be Abdul Carter on the line, but that front seven of those edge rushers, and Dexter Lawrence had some nice pressure going on too as well. Good pressure up there. The DTs in general. Um, Robinson and I think he went out, right? And then the hyphen name, other hyphen name other than Nonez Roches, was making some nice plays as well. Sorry if I'm forgetting his name right now. Um, what else? Oh, we had Lil Jordan Humphrey tonight come out and play for the team. That was cool to see. He was a quick pickup and quick play. We picked him up. It wasn't no practice squad thing for weeks and then, coming off. Picked him up, came out there, had to run some routes that we was running. They know how to run routes, you know what I'm saying? Calling a route on one team is no different than calling the route, is what the receiver's going to be doing on another team. And 90% of it, just speaking, I'm not a full blown analyst NFL, grew up, no, but I watched a lot of football and I take in a lot of the game, a lot of the game, studied up on parts of the game, and yeah, we use that. And I'm not a professional, but everybody's played a little football. We've discussed this before in their lives and stuff like that. So, but moving on to the game here. What else, man? It was really a good night. Jaxson Dart, man. I guess we'll go ahead and get to him now. As far as defense, it was really solid defense. Secondary, before I do that, secondary is really solid play. Um, Newbin has some nice stuff going on. The real play was the Cor'Dale Flott one. It kind of came out of nowhere with that interception because they have been playing pretty solid defense for the most part. AJ Brown wasn't going off on us like that. Had him force him to a couple of drop. And say Devontae Smith was the interception. It wasn't the out of nowhere third receiver like Zacharias, if he still plays for them, that came and did stuff. As far as the defensive side, they lost Quinyon Mitchell, which might have, it definitely played an impact in how our receiving game may have played out in the past game. But still, it was still some nice passes that we saw, some nice play from the quarterback acquisition and from the run game and receivers as well. Had really good nights, I think, especially with somebody with like Jalen Hyde is catching balls and going on. Then the engine's rolling on the team a little bit, and things are humming just a little bit more probably. Um, Especially with Wandell caught that one pass on the sidelines there. The great secondary read and adjust and throw by Dart there, which is a lot of his attributes and traits that we favored when we brought him in, of course, drafted him. That's what they saw. But if you saw him also at Ole Miss, a lot of stuff that you saw him do there was like you knew it would translate well to the NFL as far as mobility. And that proved out well tonight, man. He was juking and jiving, man. It looked like 26 out there without the two at some points. You know what I mean? He was out there doing his thing. To start off the game in that first half. And his mobility really plays into how the difference between Russ is out there because he got hurt for a little bit and it was full panic mode on the sidelines. As soon as that happened, it was full panic mode. You saw the injury or you saw the hit, and then what he was looking like when he was on the turf. Wasn't like a concussion thing because he didn't really take any damage to the helmet or a helmet hit. He might hit it head on the turf. Of course, the force might still do some jar from things, but it wasn't anything like that. Maybe it was a shoulder I was concerned about, collarbone, but no, he was good. He was good. Hopefully, part of the game is that running in this, and you just hope it doesn't get too reckless with it, of course. And QB sliding is still an option for Yarders to keep the clock rolling, to keep himself healthy and ready for the next play, the next drive, the next game, and further into the season, the next season, because you don't want to get injured and be out for a season and part of the next. Yeah. So that was really nice to see. The Eagles really had something coming tonight. It was well deserved for them. It's been a long time since we, especially at MetLife, have really dominated them in a fashion such as this, when both teams were at a good potency as what they were with as far as the talent on the team and stuff like that. I think we see a lot of the differences now in this third game, of course, only, but as we'll see further in the season now, the real differences that we probably have been getting out of our QB play, and now with Dart in there with a different look at it, we'll just put it like that. That there's plays out there, and hopefully that continues on. If that will be better for Daboll in the long run, who knows? But this is what we discussed before. Like this is what we got that one game out the way. And there's still two more games to play that are coming up this cycle. We got the Philadelphia Eagles again at Philadelphia to try to take care of business. In Denver, after we beat Philadelphia now, like we did, we can't go into Denver and not you know what I mean? Like go against Denver and not show up for the game again. Like that'd be the Saint stuff. We're not trying to do that. Um just a great game, man. Dart was out there throwing it, some real nice throws over defensive backs, over the linebacking. Just a great feel and touch today. He was on it. He was on it. It was really nice to see. Positive to see out of the play of the offense and the defense as well. It was a positive game for the Giants. And now uh, the new standard for their best game, most complete game of the season, really, honestly speaking here. Um, yeah, just solid performance. There were occasional one or two situations where like, especially after we score now is the biggest thing for us on defense after we score or something like that in that situation. Not taking care of or being able to add to the lead that we've had is one thing, and they accomplished that tonight. And with the defense, I feel like the thing that was still kind of edgy at some points was after we score, not immediately letting them come out and drive and score down. They did that one time to start the game, and then in the second half, it didn't really happen. We shut them out for the second half. No points on their board for that. Real nice. We held, maintained and contained Saquon Barkley. Their rush game, he came out first few carries was like, oh boy, but he is the talent that he is. But our team adjusted there, and linebackers, Bobby Okereke and Sal was back out there again tonight. Played really well. And the secondary, um, or the primary front rush of the four was good in those situations where it came down to getting Jalen Hurts, and he would have to rush up into the pocket. The linebackers and safety play was right there to contain that and not let him just run up off the center and break off somewhere like Jaxson Dart did. He shook somebody out their cleats tonight. I can't remember who, but yeah, man, this his mobility played a big part of his game, and his passing game was on point tonight too. He's a solid passer. He's always a good passer. He's not. He runs and stuff, but he's not. That's not his game. He preferred to pass the ball, I would say. So that's what's up. Good game overall from the Giants tonight. Real big win. Big, huge win. Haven't beat the Eagles in I don't know how long. Brian Daboll can go ahead and mark this up on his sheet too. I can't recall if we've ever beat the Eagles. Probably not. But like I'm saying, that legitimate point in the season like this, not the end of the season, last game and stuff. The legitimate point of the season right here is probably the biggest win that he's had in the NFC division opponents. Playing, yeah, more so than those Washington Commanders games, easily, um, easily so. So yeah, I think I will talk about this more. May I sleep on this? And just a great game, man. We go over the stats all day. I do have month like that, but I can watch the game, man. That was on fire, man. Offense was on fire. The defense has played well. Fly with the interception. Newman with some nice tackles to start it out, man. And good play from the defensive back. The penalties weren't there today, man. Tonight it was nice. It was good. It was good. Dare I say, New York Giants football. Like not. I can't say like old school Eli years. No, no, no. It ain't going that far now. And it's only his third game, and it's week 6. We got another 11 games to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot to go still, but it gave us really nice vibe to take into the weekend. We played our game now, so now we get to watch the Commanders. They play at none of the bye, and then Dallas as well. So pressure's on, man. We're 2-4, which is big because now we're back to kind of my preseason kind of thing feeling was where we should maybe be at potentially, and we're proving to be there right now at least. Maybe not the opponents that I expected to be, and honestly speaking, probably more impressive teams that we would have beaten than what the teams I would have said would beat. Yeah, definitely so. Even say beating the Cowboys, and I say we probably beat the Saints. We lost to both of those, but we beat the Chargers, where I thought was kind of a mixed game. And now beating Philadelphia Eagles, so I was like, I'd have to see. And tonight I saw, man. Tonight I saw. I witnessed it. You witnessed. We witnessed you, New York Giants. Good job, guys. Good solid game. Everybody, man, take that shit into the weekend for real. Coaching staff did their job today. We're not gonna pat you guys on the back because you're getting, the most shield from a lot of the criticism when them 52 players, or I'm sorry, the 22 players are out there on the field because they got to be the ones that make the plays and shit like that, the tackles, and the catches, and the throws, and the run, and the blocks, and everything like that. Um, but great showing there. It's good for seeing John Mayer up there in the booth, looking down at the game with a little mini empathies and shit like that. So yeah, it was a solid performance, man. I think that's it. Appreciate you stopping by, man. And take this win tonight, and we're gonna ride out for real. The guys, Blues, the kids. One.